Welcome back to Expats in Progress.
Howdy. Hello.
Howdy do. It's howdy doody time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All good stuff.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Today, we're going to be talking about childcare.
Namely, childcare, like raising, because as we've talked about before, we're in the middle of the adoption process, so we're going to be parents pretty soon here.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of like differences between US versus UK. Whereas like in the US, people are spending thousands upon thousands of dollars a month in childcare. So that way they can go to work. But all their money is going to childcare. It's
a completely absurd system.
It's a whole new thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, and as we learn more about the UK, like we learn more about like exactly how messed up this country is, and it can actually be in some pretty surprising ways, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like we literally know someone who quit her job literally for the purpose of taking care of the kids, because childcare, if she were to send the kids to childcare, that would have taken up all of her income.
More than all of her income.
Yeah.
Like it was, I think the prices that I heard her talking about was somewhere in the realm of like 3,500 USD a month, which is way more than what her income was.
Which, if you back up for a minute and kind of think about it, like the childcare quality in the U.S. is really nothing special.
No.
Like this isn't childcare as in like your child's getting individually taken care of. This is your child's getting thrown into a room and entertained for 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's all it is.
They're getting a little snacky snack of fruit snacks.
With people who often have no qualifications to actually do that role.
Yeah, it's kind of a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, it's kind of terrifying, honestly. Which is why, like, we're doing all of this and we're trying to, like, be able to get over to the UK faster. But because our whole thing is we're getting over there before our kids start school. Yeah,
because, like, also, that's a whole other thing aside from childcare is the school systems here are just, and we talked about this a little bit in our last
systems
video.
Here are a joke.
It's dangerous, and even if you ignore the danger, like the education quality is not even there. Something I learned about recently is that in like maybe there is an argument for this, but schools today, they don't actually have homework or any systems like that. Like they just send kids home after they do the school day. And, like, it seems like there's a very minimal set of expectations kids need to meet in order to, like, advance and, like, move forward.
Oh, it's that whole United States participation trophy bowl bananas.
Yeah, like, I want our kid to be able to know how to read. Like, and honestly, as silly as it sounds, I am legitimately concerned about whether the United States can deliver that quality of education.
Oh, even when I was in school, I remember there were kids in like middle school. Can you imagine being in middle school who could not read or would be reading at like a kindergarten level? They'd be like, and they'd be like literally doing like one word at a time. It was like, what the hell?
It's painful. It's painful to see like how our education system raises people that have no idea how to do anything.
Yeah. And, like, luckily, I don't know, in my, like, home life and stuff like that, like, there was a lot of reading books and stuff.
Same.
But also, I was heavily on the internet.
Same.
Probably way before I was supposed to. But it was probably, like, early middle school where I was very internet savvy. But also, I've always been into, like, reading magazines and stuff like that, mainly because I like the photos. But I like reading the captions.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, so I learned to read very young.
Yeah, and I mean, same. Like, I learned to read reading the Harry Potter books, honestly, of all things, which they're pretty good.
Oh, God, you're so young.
They were so good. I mean, okay, so the thing with me is I didn't learn to read until actually, like, I was a little older. Like,
I started reading the year you were born.
Oh, geez, that's wild.
I was 2. But
I was, like, 5, 6.
Wow.
When I was learning how to read competently. Like, it took me a long time.
No. Competently, I was probably in, actually, no, I showed you the video that was taken of me in kindergarten reading about the bee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's a video where I'm like, the bee sees me.
That's
and yeah,
cool.
so I'd probably say first grade, second grade, I was like fully competent in reading.
Yeah.
Most words, obviously, I'm not going to be like big words, no.
But like the education system, like ignoring the whole homework thing temporarily, because like maybe you could argue whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like it's almost like the education system here doesn't care about children.
The education system here is about grooming children.
For what?
To be just completely compliant with anything that you're told. from a very young
Yeah,
age.
that's not even mentioning the administrative power trips or like honestly,
Yeah.
I don't want to go too much into this, but like the racism in schools is freaking out of control.
Oh, it is insane.
Like it is so far gone and so far off the edge. There's no point even.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, not even worth talking about, honestly. But
No.
like it. So like childcare, it's way too expensive, and you get nothing for it. Borderline schools, yeah, they're free, and well, I guess your property taxes go to it, but your children get nothing out
And
of
that
it.
depends where you are in the United States. Like, not all school is free. Like, some have it like a registration at the beginning of the year. It's like $1,100. It's expensive. But then there's like programs for if like impoverished communities and stuff like that. So yeah, no, not all school's free. And then if you have like extracurricular activities here, it ain't free. Whereas in the UK, in their public school system, what would that be called?
Tuition. Wait, what are you asking?
They're like, it's not like public. It's not called public school over there. I think it's just school.
I'm pretty sure it's just school.
Yeah, there's schools over there. Everything's just kind of paid for by the government and everything else. But there's also like a nice amount of money that's being put into that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then they also have, like, as we have here, private schools. But our private schools are about the same quality as their free public schools.
Yeah, and their private schools are just in a whole
And
other
they're,
dimension.
well, they're not called private schools. They're called independent schools. And that's basically like Harvard here.
Yeah, like there was one we were looking into in Clifton for a while, and it's very...
Oh, in Bristol, Clifton College in Bristol.
It's one of the best educational centers in the world, probably.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the really ridiculous thing is when you look at the quality of education, the U.S. is just not turning out people that are of the same caliber. At least not from schooling.
Yeah, different videos that I've been seeing are where people are moving over there and like their kids are moving over there with them. Well, obviously their family's moving there, and these kids are getting put into the prospective grades, and it turns out that an American 9th grader is like a UK 4th grader.
Yeah, which is
Embarrassing.
absurd. Like the problem is, and the problem that we face, especially with having a kid, is that like we can't have our kids start the schooling system over here because they will be too far behind. Majorly
behind. And that's why, like, our kid's room upstairs, like, well, prospective kid, it's just all set up for a kiddo. Maybe one day we'll put up a little video snippet of that.
Yeah.
But it's just filled with books and science equipment and like basically everything a little preschooler can love. Because yeah. Like British children before school even starts already pretty much know how to read. They can count to like 100,
which is incredible,
etc.
Like, yeah. I think like aside from the school system, like the thing that really surprised me and threw me for a loop was like daycare and like childcare in the UK.
Yeah,
like so you go to this country and you're paying like, or in the United States you're probably paying like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. It's thousands of dollars for your kid to be in a room and basically ignored by an adult when tablet parenting could probably do exactly as good of a job. Mm-hmm. Like, not the point. But then in the UK, like, the people who are doing this, like, you could get a freaking au pair, like, that can also educate your child who has a full set of qualifications, and it will cost literally a fraction of that price.
What's
even
that
accounting for
what's
pounds
that
to
nanny
dollars.
agency who also has au pairs and stuff like that? Norland College in Bath. Yeah.
And the thing is, there's credentials for this, and this is individual childcare. The purpose of this is not maximizing the amount of money by cramming as many children into a room as possible and ignoring them. The purpose of this is actually taking care of your freaking child.
Yeah.
Which is a night and day difference in this country. And, like, honestly, that's... I hate to quote Crazy Rich Asians again, but, God. There's, like, that... There's the mom in the movie, and, like, she's kind of the antagonist because, you know what, it's an American-made movie, but whatever, we'll ignore that. Also, she's kind of terrible, but
it's also not an American-made movie. But
it's not an American-made movie? My bad. Okay, but point is, the woman who's the antagonist, she basically ends up saying something along the lines of, like, oh, pursuing your passions isn't a very American thing. Like, here we actually know how to, like, not be greedy or stuff like that.
Something along those lines.
Like that. And, like, that's exactly what it is. Because, like, if you look at the U.S., everything's about maximizing money, maximizing profit, maximizing, like, getting what you want out of it. The U.K., it's more about, like...
Live your life, educate yourself, and... Yeah.
Actually,
live your life to the fullest.
I'm wrong to even say it's the UK. It's just the US that's like that.
It's the US is trash, basically.
Yeah, it's it's a selfish country fundamentally, and like if we actually gave a care about kids, we would actually do something to prevent them from dying. Like
that's the thing. Yeah.
Like you could, like, sure, you could take the education issues at face value and you could take the daycare issues at face value, but the reality is, like, our country doesn't care whether your children live or die.
That's pretty much how it is. Yeah. And I think we should end it there.
Yeah, I don't have an uplifting part for this. This country's horrible.
I know, this country's so bad. And we can go on and on and on and on and on.
If you would like to hear us go on and on and on, remember to like, comment and subscribe, and hit the notification button so you can be updated for
it's
future videos.
It's the notification bell.
Also, let us know in the comments down below how you feel about childcare versus in the U.S. versus the UK.
Yeah.
Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Do you think we're horrible people? Sign off.
Oh my gosh. Bye.
Do you think we're great people?